I hope you guys know me by now. And what I want to say is please don't think that I'm ever trying to victim blame or victim shame anyone. However, with Q from Day26, there's a lot of inconsistencies that's in his story. I know you guys probably already heard about the one where he talks about the stylist, right, that took advantage of him. Well, there's another story where he alludes to Don having the three-letter word. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that one. Let's get into all of this. Here we go, you guys. So I want to start out by telling you guys that he does admit that he does suffer from mental health, as we know that he has schizophrenia. Now, he does say that he gets a shot every month, so he has been open about this. Now, I never want to say that somebody who does suffer from mental health is a liar or take that as the reason why his stories are inconsistent, but something is not right here, and we're going to discuss it. Here we go, you guys. Play the audio. Make sure the audio's on. Here we go.
That led to you and Don breaking up.
Yeah, so I was in Rochester, New York. I get a call from Diddy Stylist. He's like, I need you in Fashion Week to do some events, to make some money. That's what artists do. We go to events, we take pictures, for the media, for the blogs. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm glad to be a part of it. So I get to New York, Harlem. I'm in this place. We smoked some weed, had a few regular drinks. I get dressed to go to the event. He comes out with this strange green bottle with some other liquor, and I glanced at the bottle and it read Absinthe. Now, I did my research after it happened. What Absinthe was, Absinthe is a date drink. It's like green. It's like whatever the fuck it is. It's a date drink. So he poured it in my drink. I innocently drunk it. Go, drunk the shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good. I go to the event. When I get to the event, I don't feel right, man. Like I'm like feeling like woozy, and I start like spinning and because I can't.
All right. So I want to point something out. So absinthe, it's alcohol, right? It was something that they banned hundreds of years ago because they were saying that it caused people to hallucinate and like it's strong. Listen, it's not something that you just drink. It's something that you sip on. You're actually supposed to take this special spoon, put it over the glass, and then put a sugar cube on top and then pour the absinthe over. Like it's a whole way that you're supposed to do it. Now, this is not a date drug. It's not one of those at all. It's just very strong. Now, with him saying that it's a date drug, I'm like, no, that's not true. It sounds like you might have got toe up because, yeah, it's pretty strong, right? But it's not a drug. It's not that at all. And yes, I am editing the word RAPE, just to let you know.
Can't handle these heavy drugs, whatever the case. My body doesn't handle well. I started spinning, got serious, and next thing you know, he makes a signal to get me. The stylist makes a signal to get me out the event club. I blank out. Next thing you know, I wake up and I'm naked in the stylist's bed, holding myself like this, stuck like this, as if a snake had bitten me and I was unconscious and paralyzed. And I couldn't move. So I couldn't speak. So he was verbally assaulting me. Not verbally, verbally and aggressively, verbally and aggressively assaulting me. He's telling me, shut the fuck up, and saying all this crazy shit. And I was saying, please stop. I was mumbling the shit, like, please stop, while I was holding myself. And then it just got, I don't want to go into the details of what the assault really, what took place, man, but it was very aggressive and it was painful, bruh. And I've never felt like pain like that in my life. Like I was taken advantage of. And I feel like if I had a gun, I would have shot him in his fucking head. If I could reach that gun from being stuck like this. You know what I'm saying? And fast forward the next day, I still was under the influence. That's when I got out of the house and went to New York City where Dawn was at, because she was in there for Fashion Week too. And I told her what the stylist had did to me, that he assaulted me. And I needed help. I just needed help. I didn't know what to do. And she went with me over to his house. We went back to Harlem, went to his house, confronted him. He tried to play like the shit was consensual. So me and him about to fight and argue. I'm like, yo, what the f you saying this was consensual, nigga? You ain't telling that you poured that shit in my drink? So I'm like going crazy. We arguing. We get out of her house. We go back to Rochester.
Again, he poured him alcohol. It wasn't. And now if he's trying to claim that it was spiked or, you know, he put something in there, that's a whole different story. But you drank this. Now, again, am I saying that, oh, if somebody is drunk, it's okay for you to take advantage of them? No, that is absolutely not what I'm saying. However, where is the police report? Where is, like, you know, because this isn't Diddy. So we're not dealing with a situation where, okay, this is somebody high powered. I can see why you wouldn't say X, Y, and Z. This is somebody that, you know, is just a stylist. Like, why didn't you tell on them? Like, why didn't you say anything?
We're talking to my parents, and Dawn's like, oh, Q's gay. Q's gay. And my mother asked me, she was like, Q, are you gay? I was like, Mom, no. I said, Mom, this man assaulted me and took advantage of me. I said, I did not have consensual sex with him. And Dawn didn't believe me still. And she went, that's kind of like the time we had broke up. And she went, I know when we, next time I saw her, she was on the radio talking to Sway or something, saying that I cheated on her. And she started telling people, you know how this is what I mean behind the scenes. You know how you could talk on the radio and not say something live, but then behind the scenes, when the radio cut off, we having a conversation like, oh yeah, that, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Spilling all kind of tea and shit. That's what I'm saying behind the scenes. That's what she did. And I don't like that because, you know, I would appreciate if she just been like, you was assaulted. Q was
the incident that happened at Fashion.
So he's upset because Don didn't say, oh, he was assaulted and like he didn't cheat on me. Because again, if you're assaulted, no, of course that's not cheating. But here's the issue. Q already admitted to being a cheater. Now, I don't want to say that this didn't happen, or, you know, this is probably could have been like having remorse for what he did, getting too drunk and then end up sleeping with a man. That it can be multiple things, but here is proof of Q actually admitting that he did cheat on Dawn, and it was with multiple people. It wasn't just one person.
Dawn spoke on you in a few interviews over the summer. Now, she said you cheated on her. Did you cheat? With multiple people, as a matter of fact.
I did cheat on her. I did.
Now, do you feel bad about that? You have some kind of remorse?
Well, you know, honestly, I'm not allowed to speak on that. I actually been talking to some people, and you know what I mean. Like, she has a career. She's gonna be wonderful, and you know what I mean. We did a lot of things in our relationship together. You know what I mean. That opened up doors that you know what I mean, that probably should have never been open. So I did cheat. I was with her for a year after. You know, so I thought everything was good, and just randomly, you know, I find out she's with someone else. So it was kind of a confusing situation how we ended, because I cheated with her and we were still together.
Now, he does pause and hesitate, because I'm going to give you both sides. He does pause and hesitate and go like, well, you know, I've been talking to a few people. So it seemed like he was alluding to something, like he needed to talk with somebody before he confirmed whether or not he cheated. But then he admits like, yeah, I did cheat. So again, that would have been the time to be like, hey, no, that's not true. You know, it's a lie. But just going to the initial saying that there was a date drug, I'm all like, no, it's legal. It's legal what you had. Now you can say like, I ain't gonna do that shit, because we've all drank something and been like, oh, I ain't gonna do that no more because that had me toe up, I was stoned up, blah, blah, blah. But to say that it was a date drug, I was like, something's off about that. But I'm gonna go ahead and play you guys the next clip where he basically alludes to Don having the 3-letter word, and he says it multiple times. At first he said, oh, well, I'm not saying that she has it, but then talks about how, oh, well, why didn't she tell me that, this and that? And it's like, okay, so you're blaming her, but you don't have it. So why is this a topic of conversation? And are you saying that she does have it? Because let's be honest, it's been rumored for years that Diddy has been passing around different diseases. Now, nothing has ever came out publicly as far as confirming that he does have any kind of disease. But I mean, word has been on the street. So again, I don't know if he's feeding the narrative, alluding to like Diddy had something to do with it or gave it to her, but it's ugly. It literally seems like this man has some kind of hatred for Don. And I get it. Whatever their relationship was is what it was, but you got to get over it, homie. Like, you saying a lot of stuff.
Like, where was you at?
You guys?
And I was like, oh, I was with Lorianne, and she invited me to Puff Barbecue. She was like, they don't even with you. They don't even like you. Like, you didn't even tell me. Then she's slapped me in my face. Let me tell you about this story. We were in LA, and Lorianne Gibson was there, and Dawn was sick, and I didn't know why. She wouldn't tell me, but her dad was there. She wouldn't tell me why she was sick, and I was like, okay, cool. So I'm like, I'm about to go to church and pray for her. So Lorianne took me to church. I'm rejoicing to the Lord, praying for her, hoping that she gets better. Lorianne's like, we're about to go to Puff's Barbecue. So I'm like, weirdly like, okay, why am I coming? Why you inviting me? I already feel like they don't like me a little bit. It feel a little weird. Like they don't like me. They don't want me around because of the feelings of like they're messing around or whatever, or whoever. So we get to Puff's house. Kim Porter's there. Puff's there. Roger Bonds is there. Taraji Henson was there. It was a few other people that were there. And we're drinking, and I'm getting a little nervous because I've never been around like big stars like that. So I dropped the glass liquor bottle, and it splattered. And Kim came over to me. She's like, "Oh, it's okay, baby." She was like, "It's okay, calm down. I'll clean it up for you. I'll get you another drink." So she got me another drink, calmed me down, and the night went on. And before I left, I fell on Taraji Henson a little bit, and she lifted me up. I was like, "Baby, it's okay." But we got out of there, got back to the hotel, and Dawn was like, "Where was you at?" And I was like, "Oh, I was with Lorianne, and she invited me to Puff Barbecue." She was like, "They don't even with you. They don't even like you. Like, you didn't even tell me." Then she's slapped me in my face. So I was like, bitch, I'm like, what the, like, because she slapped me, like, and she kicked me out the room. She chased me down the hall naked or whatever. Kalina pulled me. I got to Kalina, and Kalina pulled me in her room, and I started talking and breaking down to Kalina everything, the shit that was going on. Can I say this?
Here we go.
Okay, I keep it real. Her white blood cells were low. I got proof. I'm not just making that up. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I'm like, damn, like, okay, that made me think like, I'm just keeping it real now. If you know you got HIV or some shit, whatever the case may be, and you messing around with me and not telling me that, being honest with me, who you sleeping around with, that is put my life in danger. That with me. Thank God I don't have HIV or anything like that. And I'm saying she has it. I'm not putting that on her, but I'm just saying I get my blood tested every single month. Like I said, because I have to get an injection in my arm. So I don't have HIV. But that was the whole talk about the LA thing. You know what I'm saying? When she was in the hospital about the HIV. I'm saying, like, we were together at that time. So I'm just thankful that, I didn't contract that.
Was y'all using protection?
At the end of the relationship, we were. Throughout the beginning of the relationship, we were. Dawn was like, where was you at?
So again, the reason why I have a problem with this is because basically he's alluding to her having it. You can say, oh, well, he just said her, he was just wondering why her white blood count was low. But he's saying, thank God I didn't contract that. So are you then saying that means that she has it? And this is a dangerous narrative to put out there, especially if this woman does not. Let me just clarify something. Whether she has it or not, like, why would you say that? Like, you hate this woman that much that you would put this out there. And again, you're saying that you even have proof. So you have her medical records and you're going to share them with us? Why would you want or need to show us proof of anything? If you don't have it, you don't have it. Like, what are you trying to show? So, and he's referencing that he can show that Don had a low white blood count. Like, no, we don't need to see it. If she's healthy, she's healthy. But you alluding to her having something, that's crazy. And I know y'all gonna be like, well, AT2, you talked about it on your channel. Well, this is public. It's on the Art of Dialogue, which is a bigger channel than me. So if I'm the first one to talk about it, it is what it is, but it's for the public to see. But my thing is that Q just seems like he's out for revenge, because I'm going to circle it back to earlier this year during the Diddy trial when he was talking about the pill that he took, right? He said, oh, yeah, Don gave me a pill. And then he woke up. He was scared. He didn't know what's going on. Q ended up showing the actual video. And yeah, when they woke him up, he was startled. But you also see him laughing and giggling. And, he's kind of groggy or whatever. But he's laughing and giggling, when they woke him up. Yeah. The initial, when they were like screaming at him, waking him up, of course he was shocked and like surprised, because anybody would get startled when they first wake up. But the way you put it is that this woman tried to drug you. And then don't forget that after Don was all like, no, this is not true, he came back and apologized. So again, Q is just out here telling stories, or it's either two things. He's out here telling stories, or he's being reckless with the truth. He's either out here telling stories or being reckless with the truth. Again, when it comes to Diddy, and trust me, this is not a defense of Diddy at all. If you weren't someone who testified during the trial, if they didn't take your story and was all like, oh, we need to investigate this, I have a problem with believing any kind of stuff that does not come with evidence. Just like, for example, Aubrey. Aubrey said that a woman said in her lawsuit that she seen Aubrey, in a daze and was getting taken advantage of and being forced to do things. You guys know what I'm alluding to, right? And Aubrey was all like, honestly, I don't remember it. I don't know. But this girl is telling me that she does. And so I'm waiting for proof and evidence. But Aubrey kind of always alluded to something had happened to her. Now finding out, like, okay, well, you don't even know if this lady or this woman's story is true, because a lot of people were filing lawsuits against Diddy. Some of them were true. Some of them were not true. Obviously, with Cassie, we know it was true. With certain cases, it's a lot of stuff that was just put in there, and it's all like, okay, are you looking for a payday or not? The only thing I care about is the truth. And Q, he's sharing his truth, but I don't know if it's true. Again, I repeat that. He's sharing his truth. I just don't know if it's true. And, looking at that video with the Stylist, and then looking at the video where this video right here in particular, where he's alluding to Don having HIV, I was all like, I don't like none of that. I don't like it. Again, I'm willing to have a conversation in the comment section. Please let me know what you guys think. And, if I'm in the wrong, I'll say, hey, I'm in the wrong. I should let him tell his story. But if I see or hear inconsistencies, I'm going to say something about it. I think that's fair. And especially, this is another public figure. If it was anybody else, we would question it. Just because it's a Diddy story, don't mean I believe everything bad about Diddy. Oh, he's still a demon. He's still evil. He's still a monster. But I'm not believing everything I hear. Just think about it. Jaguar Wright was telling us for years she snuck girls out the Diddy parties, but come to find out, she was never there. Think about it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We out of here, y'all.